NHL Nightly with your host, the sports, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico and Barry. And the degenerate Bostonian, Mike Warina. What's up?
What's going on, fellas? Anyone out in the Northeast doing the no heat challenge? I'm in. I'm winning.
So it's okay. So let me get this straight. Rico's getting a snowstorm. You're getting hammered in Barrie, which is probably not, probably in line with Boston, not that far anyway. You are 20 degrees outside in Boston right now.
Yep.
I live in Anchorage, Alaska. It was a high of 37 today, 31. We were supposed to get snow. We got none. It was sunny. I took the dogs on a walk. You guys saw the video where Rico, if you guys follow us, hit another goal-scoring prop. In fact, if you double down, Morgan Geeky had 2. So he had half the Bruins goals tonight. The Bruins win 4-2. Great game. We have some news to talk about. I don't want to bury the lead. Obviously, we're going to get to the Four Nations. We're going to talk about it. But I thought the Tyler Seguin news, and Dallas goes up 1-0 right now on the power play goal against LA. Again, I said LA is crappy at home. I would not. But horrible news, unless you believe in the LTI ferries, because Dallas could trade for some guys, which they desperately need to move anyway. So I think it's going to help them out, opening up some cap space. But it does suck. They basically have lost Tyler Seguin for the year. Let's get your thoughts on that, boys, before we go into the Four Nations conversation.
Yeah, dude, the Seguin news is absolutely horrible because that line, I think he was playing with Duchesne and Marchment, and that line was just rolling. Now they moved Stankoven up the lineup to make up for him. But, I mean, if you're going to be out not until March, be out until April. I mean, they're going to go after somebody at the trade deadline. I mean, Dallas is over plus 900. I think they're plus 950 to win the cup today if somebody wanted to drop a couple shackles on them, because that just gives them a little bit more flexibility to grab somebody at the deadline, have Seguin just slot right back in April and be ready for a playoff run. So not that you wish it upon the guy, but you just got to try and look at it on the bright side, get healthy. It sucks. Hip surgery, man, out for a long time, but just try and think of things on the bright side that, they'll be able to have a little bit of flexibility to gain some more momentum going into the playoffs past the trade deadline because of it. But yeah, Seguin was having a good year too. It sucks.
That's the only blessing in disguise, right? Is that that Dallas gets some, maybe some LTIR before. Obviously, LTIR, he's going to be gone. I think him and Ben make the most money on that team right now. Yeah, I was really disappointed because he was having a really good year. It just felt like he was kind of finally, because he's had just nothing but injury problems, right? So, yeah, just a bummer. Golden Knights just scored 2. Carlson to go up 1-0. I think we had Anaheim in that game. I think we were kind of on the Ducks. So that's how it goes. Did the Leafs get a goal taken away? I thought they won 4-2.
They won 4-2 unless Tavares, when he put that empty netter, was right at the buzzer. Did they not count it?
Well,
I'm showing 3-2.
NHL.com is showing 3-2. I thought the final was
4-2. So maybe they went to the replay there. Puck line Jesus didn't come through for RA tonight if he had it.
Oof.
Oh, no.
I took him straight.
Wasn't Boston and the Blackhawks 5.5? So that was 6 goals.
I said don't take it if it was 5.5.
Hey,
I said don't take
Pearlo said the under last night, and I said the over. So I mean,
there you go. I mean, at least somebody was right on our show.
Oh,
well, anyway, let's get into the Four Nations. We'll pull up the Swedish team first because I want to just go through everybody, and we'll finish with the U.S. and Canada. Okay. So here's Sweden. What do you think? These graphics were thanks to Sportsnet. I'm not making these things, so So I will go through the team. The forwards are Forsberg, Kempe, who's playing tonight for LA, Joel Eriksson-Ek, Gustav Nyquist, Lucas Raymond, Elias Lindholm, Victor Arvidsson, Elias Pettersson, Jesper Bratt, William Karlsson, who has a goal tonight, William Nylander from your Toronto Maple Leafs, Rico, Leo Carlsson from Anaheim tonight, and Mika Zibanejad. Those are your forwards. Any shockers there?
I thought Zibanejad was Norwegian, but other than that, no shockers here.
Yeah, they went. Yeah, they went with a pretty veteran-laden lineup too. I think Sweden.
They got some young guys.
Well, I mean, Carlson and Raymond. Those are basically.
Eriksson-Ek's not that old, is he?
He is. There's only a couple players born after '98 on that lineup. So I mean, Sweden's always had a good defense core. They always have a good defense core, but William Nylander is like he's coming over the boards when it matters most for that team.
Defense, Rasmus Andersson, Matthias Ekholm, Jonas Brodin, Rasmus Dahlin, Gustav Forsling, Erik Karlsson, Victor Hedman, Jacob Markstrom, Philip Gustafsson, and Linus Ullmark are your goalies. I think they have the great goaltending between Markstrom and Gustafsson, and Ullmark when he's on, he's good too. I mean, he won the Vezina a couple years ago. So, and I don't dislike their D either.
No, the D and goaltending, I mean, is where it's at for that team.
Yeah. I did say, though, today in Morning Cup of Hockey that I think that there will be a significant player that gets hurt and hurts a team's playoff chances big time. And what if a guy like Matthias Ekholm goes down? Where'd Edmonton be without him?
Dude. And yeah. And that's why I know you'll get to it after with Canada's roster, but I'll have the same kind of remark about that statement a little later on.
All right. I got to find Finland. Sorry. I thought I had saved it.
I'm more or less thinking do they have enough firepower up front? Like they've got a lot like all these other teams do, but are they going to have enough to break through, the opposing
Sweden?
Yeah, like I'm looking at them and I guess league rosters that I'm scratching my head if their forwards got enough in them.
Yeah, well, you look at Jesper Bratt's having a good year. William Nylander. I mean, you got good defensive forwards. Like Sweden just has that structure because you got Elias Lindholm there. He's another guy that's going to play down the middle and just try to shut down and not play a top line center like he's made out to be. So I mean, Philip Forsberg, William Nylander, Elias Pettersson, Jesper Bratt, you got Eriksson-Ek, like they're pretty solid down the middle.
Oh yeah,
Eriksson-Ek and Lindholm.
I'm not doubting their goal stopping ability, forwards or defense.
Yeah, Sweden take the unders. I think take the unders in the Sweden.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, here's Finland. And I don't know if this is how the lines are going to be. Sebastian Aho, Erik Haula, Anton Lundell, Yoel Armia, Rupe Hentz, Eetu Luosterainen, Alexander Barkov, Capo Kakko, Mikko Rantanen, Mikael Granlund, Patrick Laine, Teuvo Teravainen, Arturi Lehkonen, Jani Hakanpää, Asa Lindell, Rasmus Listolainen, Miro Heiskanen, Olli Maatta, Juuso Välimäki, Mikko Mikkola. Boy, I tell you what, man, Florida is getting the shaft in this whole thing because they're going to have a lot of players playing. Florida has 3 players alone on this roster.
Dude,
four on.
I know. And that's what I'm saying, Beard. And that's what I brought on the show last night. I'm like, how physical is this going to be, man? This is a glorified All-Star game. The All-Star game's not happening. This is basically the All-Star game. I don't know, man. It's going to be a lower scoring than people think. I mean, you got Barkov and Rupe Hintz as your top 2 centers. I mean, guys that are...
This Finnish team is no joke defensively.
Selkie guys, too.
Yes. Barkov, number 1 center. Erik Haula is a guy who could play 3 or 4 line center. Rupe Hentz, if you have him at the second line center.
Yeah, Aho, two-way guy.
Capo Caco is a good defensive player. He's not the offensive guy that you'd like to have, but like, hey, obviously Jack Hughes was the right pick that year, but I don't think you have anything. This is no slouch of a team. I'd love to see if somebody did a Russia-German team. Okay.
So,
all right.
If there was a Russian team, they might be favored probably right in the middle, if not towards the top of this tournament.
Okay, what do you want to talk about first, Canada or the U.S.? Let's go to Canada, because I think Canada is, probably got the forward core, but there was a couple surprises, 3 real surprises for me, just based on, and this is from the NHL Network. I stole their graphic, so none of these look the same. I couldn't find. So here's Canada's forward: Sam Bennett, Anthony Cirelli. Not a surprise. We thought he was going to be on. Sid Crosby, Brandon Hagel, Seth Jarvis was a surprise to me. Travis Konechny, Nathan McKinnon, Brad Marchand, Mitch Marner, Connor McDavid, Braden Point, Sam Reinhart, Mark Stone. On the defensive side, Cale Makar, Josh Morrissey, Colton Parayko, Alex Pietrangelo, Travis Sanheim, Jake Theodore, and Devon Taves. And then the goaltending, we all kind of thought that we were going to see Bennington and Hill. The third goalie, we weren't sure, Sam Montembeault. I have to say, I don't know about Canada's goaltending, just based on how Hill and Jordan Bennington. Now, Hill just come off a shutout, 1-0 in the Oilers. We know what Bennington can do when the games matter. So I think the ability is there. But I don't know. The back end feels odd to me. They didn't bring Tom Wilson, and they grabbed a guy like Mark Stone, who's just been banged up. Now, look, Mark Stone, healthy. There's probably not a better defensive winger in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? I got to take.
Well, this could all change too. Like, this is going to happen in February, and like, things could change. They're not locked into these rosters whatsoever. But yeah, the Montembeault thing kind of struck me. But then I thought, I'm like, okay, this thing's in Montreal, and I guess they're having a hard time selling tickets in Montreal right now to this thing. So they're going to bring in a little local boy. But I'm like, why wouldn't you just bring in Nick Suzuki instead of a couple of these guys on this team too? So
the third goalie's not going to play, Rico.
No, for sure. But you know what? Bringing in Marc-Andre Fleury because he's buddies with Crosby and he's like a good, happy cheerleader.
Fleury would have been my pick.
Fleury would have been like just a good guy to have around. But I guess they're grooming these players into the next Olympics in where is it, in Italy? So maybe they're just trying to bring in these younger guys like Seth Jarvis and Montembeault and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought Logan Thompson maybe have slid in there too. But I mean, Stamkos was a bit of a snub, but I mean, I think Tampa was well on just to move on from them too. But Scheifele was a big one that was left out for me as well.
Yeah, I thought he's had a deserving year. And you know what? If you look at his career as a whole, he's been a very good player. I did want to ask you this. John Tavares. Does that one hurt or?
That's another one too, but then everybody's thinking this tournament's going to be like a run and gun tournament, like just a high octane kind of like no hitting, not too much physicality kind of thing, because it's an NHL All-Star Game replacement tournament where it's a showcase for the Olympics and nobody wants to get hurt. And that's why I was thinking about Colton Parayko as well too. I'm like, I'd rather have him in there, throw him in there and just keep Tanev on the Leafs, man, because he blocks everything that moves. And next thing you know, he's freaking done for the year after this tournament. And we need this guy. So like, throw whoever in there. I honestly just think a little bit differently about this tournament than the Olympics. So
you already have Marner there, and you're going to have Matthews, because we haven't got to Team USA, but we already knew Matthews was on the roster, so that isn't a surprise. He was one of the first players named. So again, Florida. I have to go back to Sweden real quick.
Yeah.
Florida has 5 players right now on these rosters.
I know, dude.
Okay? So let's just jump right into Team USA.
I think the Avs already have 3 or 4. We've already shown 2.
Well, yeah. Yep. Okay. They have Lehkonen, McKinnon and McCarr, and Taves.
And
So
Rantanen.
What?
Rantanen was on the list too.
Okay. So they have 4 or 5 guys. Yeah. So that's going to be real interesting.
What's up, Bobby?
Okay. So the Washington Capitals, my team, I expected to have 2 or 3 players. I thought Logan Thompson had an outside shot. I thought
Olsen.
yes, Avi. I agree with you. But they don't have anybody.
Yeah, I thought John Carlson would play D for the U.S.
I'm okay with him not playing. I think it's okay. They may have asked him. He's competed in Olympics and stuff. So I think he probably was like, nah, I'll take the 3 weeks off with my family. He's 34. He led the NHL in ice time last year, and he wasn't supposed to do that much ice time this year because they signed Matthew Roy, and Roy gets hurt the first game, and so Carlson's playing 38 minutes a freaking night, and now he's back to some normal ice time. But I, as a Capitals fan, I look at this. Russians aren't playing. We're going to get Ovi back healthy. We get all this break. This is a good thing for my team. Now, Austin Matthews is on there from the Leafs. But so you have Marner and Matthews represent, and was there anybody else? Hockenpah.
And William Nylander.
And Nylander. Okay, so 4 guys. So there's another team that has a bunch of players. Bruins have Swayman and McAvoy. And then obviously Pasternak's from Czech, so he's not going to be playing in this.
Nobody's going to be laying each other out in this tournament, I'll tell you that. It's going to be like an all-star game.
I think it's going to be different.
I think once you put the country on your jersey, I think you want to win. I think that's what I've noticed. And even the IHF tournaments that happen at the end of the years.
I hope so.
Let me just go through the list for USA. Say it out loud. Matt Boldy, Jack Hughes, Brock Nelson. A little bit surprised with the Brock Nelson pickup, but I actually love Brock Nelson. I know a lot of people are thinking, Avi says USA roster is fine, but Tage over Nelson and Carlson over Hannafin. That should be in the lineup. Yeah, I'm all right with it. I bet you they asked Carlson.
But what about Clayton Keller or Jason Robertson off the roster too?
Yeah, so Robertson, my big problem with him is, by the way, Dallas is up 2-0 after Mason Marchment got his 11.
I love Dallas tonight. They're paying like -110 with Rittich and net. Ottinger after being named to the team. I love the Dallas tonight.
And they got some bad news with the Tyler Seguin thing. Yeah, so I would have loved to have seen Tage Thompson on there. I would have taken Tage Thompson over Chris Kreider. Chris Kreider has 9 goals on the year. And
he's having a bad year. And he's being named to like trade fucking stuff.
Yeah, he's looked disinterested at nights. But I hear he's a great locker room guy. I wonder, while we've got this up here and we're discussing it,
that matters. Locker room guys matter.
And Quinn Hughes are the same player, except for Quinn Hughes is fucking way better and a much better skater. Adam Fox is not even a good skater. He's just a very smart and intelligent player. I'm telling you right now, I'm riding Brock Faber and Jacob Slavin. Werenski also kind of defensive player. To me, I actually like that they got Hannafin over Carlson. The problem with this roster is on the defensive end, McAvoy, Fox, Quinn Hughes, and Werenski all kind of have similar games. You only got 2 real defensive defensemen with Hannafin and Slavin. Now, I like Faber. He's an all-around defenseman for sure, but he's got some offense to his game too. So I do like our defensive core. It's, I'm not sad about how they picked. Now,
it's weird that Austin Matthews is 4th line center though. This graphic does not?
No, this is just they just listed the names in alphabetical order or whatever. Okay. This is not how the roster's laid out by any stretch of the imagination. No, I'm willing to bet you 1,000,000% Austin Matthews will be the 1st line starting center.
But if you were to predict right now, who would be Matthews' wingers?
So I think they're going to put him with guys like, one guy that can take pressure, like a Brock Nelson, like a power forward, a Brady Kachuk.
He's a center,
like
though.
What?
I saw him with Connor on another.
Nelson is a
right
center,
winger.
though.
No, he's a right winger. He's not playing center. He's a right winger.
I can see Matthews with Kyle Connor. Like Mike, yeah, I can.
I can see a guy like Kyle Connor too, but to me, a speedy guy like Gensel or Boldy would make a lot of sense. And then you could throw a Matthew Kachuk up there at left wing, but I like Matthew Kachuk in the second or third pairings. I like Matthew and Brady together for sure. And maybe you have Larkin center that line. I think they played together in juniors, World Juniors and stuff, didn't they? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think they're all kind of similar age. JT Miller too. That would be a good one if JT plays. I do think we'll see some changes. I think it's Hellebuck or Ottinger's. I think they're going to give each goalie a start, each one or two. I think Swayman will have a tough time getting in, but Swayman's getting his stuff together. So
I like Gensel, Matthews, and Connor on the first line.
Yeah, see, I just sent what Geno's posted, and they said Connor and Matthew Kachuk would be with Austin Matthews.
Matthew Kachuk would just go in there and get the puck for him and dig it out.
Right, that's what I mean. And then you have two guys to go score.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I found.
Connor, Matthews, Kachuk, Brady, Eichel, Gensel, Miller, Hughes, Boldy.
Yeah, so this is probably what they're projecting the lineup to be. And that makes sense. And I don't mind Brock Nelson on this team at all. If I had to take one guy off, they have Vincent Trocheck there. Is that his? Did Vincent Trocheck make the roster?
Trocheck's a natural center. He's actually good at draws too.
Was he on the roster?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, he is there. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. I like Trocheck being on there. I have no problem with Trocheck being there.
I'm struggling McAvoy there. I think he's a liability, but
he knew he was making it. They love him. He's like a media darling.
I don't know why.
Yeah, Stars are killing it tonight, Avi. Good to see you, by the way. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, so I truly do think that there will be some injuries that significantly affect some playoff teams, and teams like the Rangers have a few. Okay, they have Kakko, they have Kreider, they have Trocheck, they have 3 on Team USA. Okay, love it for the Rangers. The Capitals have 0. If you're looking in the Metro, the Devils, they have Jack Hughes and Quinn Hughes, okay, both on Team USA. Let's go. No, I said Quinn Hughes, sorry. Quinn Hughes plays for the Canucks. But they have Jack Hughes. And I think, is Eric Halla play for the Devils?
Yeah.
He made his country's team. So it's going to be interesting, man. I do think this will be a hard. I just think.
You think so?
Players,
I'm excited for watching, the USA and Canada playing Sweden and Finland, just because I think they have better forward packs, where Sweden and Finland have better defensive forwards. So I'm curious to watch, the front six battle each other. But as I said, I'll take pictures from Sweden, USA.
Yeah, nobody wants to get hurt. Like, who's going to lay down in front of a shot and fucking take one? You think? Do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah. Crosby will.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest Crosby hater, but he will.
Kachuk and Brady Kachuk aren't going to play hard? You don't think Charlie McAvoy?
Hey, man, you're starting to convince me. So I'm hoping it's going to be like that. I'm hoping it's not going to be the All-Star break and they asked Connor McDavid tonight. They're like, "Hey, I know you'd rather be down in Mexico for 2 weeks during February, but he's like, no, I'd rather be here and I'd rather be playing in this tournament for my country and stuff." So hopefully it is like that, man. Hopefully it is, because what are you going to get after this? You're just going to get a fucking trophy, but
it's a pride thing.
I know, for sure. I love what you're saying.
Next year, they're playing in the Olympics 2026.
I know.
I mean, we're right there, dude. I mean,
I hope. Hopefully.
It's 2 years away, but
I want it to be the battle to the death like it always has been. That's all I'm wishing for.
I hope it's exactly like the 96 World Cup of Hockey.
Or the 2010 Vancouver Olympics.
No. I don't want anything like that. Where the ref kicked the puck to Jerome McGinley so he could pass it to a wide open Crosby so they didn't burn the fucking streets of Vancouver down. We all know that is true statement. That game was fixed right then and there.
That's fucked, dude. No,
you're
not one of those guys, Beard.
Go back and watch it. Go back and watch. Dude,
that was a kick.
He tripped over it.
The linesman kicks the puck to Iginla, and Iginla throws it to Crosby's wide open.
No.
Go back and watch the whole play. I'm telling you.
I watched it a lot of times, and it happens too fast. The ref can't do that.
Sure he can.
He kicked the puck to Jerome Iginla.
Oh.
It was real quick. He just gets out. He kicks it out of he kicks it up the boards.
Parise shouldn't have scored in the dying seconds anyway. It's okay.
I mean, we did score in seconds.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I
just hope we get a good Four Nations. I'm going to be down in Mexico during that whole time, right? I'm going to be visiting.
I don't know that we'll have any shows during that time anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, Avi's with me. USA should have won. Facts. Oh, it was so awesome when Parise scored that goal. Now, I'll just tell you, I will say, since 1996, I don't think the U.S. has been on par with Canada, and now I think we are. And everybody's going to say McDavid and Crosby. Crosby's 39 years old, man. And I get Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid's had multiple injuries in his career now. You can only move so fast. That's what I care about, Avi. If we don't win this Four Nations, I want to win the gold medal. It's been a long time.
Yeah, you guys could have the Four Nations. I'll take the gold medal.
Yeah, I want to win the gold medal. I think USA knows it's about winning gold medals. And I love that Bill Guerin, who was on the 96 team, that beat maybe the greatest Canadian team ever assembled in 96. Messier, Lemieux, Gretzky, all those guys still in their prime. And
Gretzky wasn't in his prime.
It was a 2 out of 3, so it wasn't an any game fluke. It was 2 out of 3. So
who starts game 1 for the U.S. in net?
I think they'll give it to Hellebuck, man.
Yeah,
he's just the guy. And I think Ottinger will see some time. I think it's going to be very hard for Jeremy Swayman to see the net unless we have an injury or something. So, and honestly, they might bring another guy in.
I think where Boston's getting it, I don't think they're going to cut Swayman, but
no. But let's say a guy gets hurt, right? Or a guy tweaks something, they're not going to play him. Yeah. I mean, they're going to do the teams a service and not.
So who's the next guy in besides?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Hurt?
If there's a guy that you could add to each roster, let's go through the list. We'll just talk about U.S. and Canada. Because no one gives a shit about Finland and Sweden here, except for Singsy. Singsy cares about Finland because he's pissed that Cole Caulfield didn't make the fucking USA team. So he's gonna root for Finland because Cole fucking Caulfield didn't make our team. Why would you have Cole Caulfield on Team USA?
I mean, Team USA U20 hero,
dude. He still looks like he belongs in juniors, size-wise. Okay, so he has 16 goals. Okay, he has 6. He's tied for third with Nylander and Kaprizov and Braden Point. Okay, and one behind him is Ovechkin, Nico Hischier, and Mikko Rantanen. All those guys are on their respective teams, by the way. So I do understand where he's coming from there, but how many of his goals are power play goals? And okay, granted, you want him over there, but he doesn't do anything else on the ice. I love the kid, by the way, changing his number to Johnny Gaudreau. I wanted to buy one. I think he should have got the A. He has 16 goals, 7 assists, 23 points in 25 games. He's basically a point-a-game player. He's almost got 100 career goals in 230 games played. He's a -4. He's a career -43. Like, I don't know if I can look at I can throw his stats up here for you guys. He's never been a plus player. And I know Montreal is not good. He has 8 power play points and 7 power play goals this year. So, I don't know, man. Like, he does one thing really well, and that's work on the power play where he can get space. Look, love the kid. Love him. Don't hate him. I love the small guys. Cliff Ronning, one of my favorite players. Doug Gilmour wasn't a big guy.
Dino Cizzarelli, Theo Fleury.
Undrafted. I mean, he was 15th overall, first round. I mean, nobody's sliding this guy. I Singsy understand where you're coming from, but like let's look at Tage Thompson's numbers. I mean, and Tage is a big, lanky, Kipper was calling him Cage Lemieux, right? Like, to me, it's, and I know Buffalo's not good, but you got to be, where's Thompson? He's got to be up there. Okay, he has 13 goals. He started slow. He has 20 points, and he's a +4. He has 20 points and 20 games played. He's been banged up a little bit. Now, that might be a reason he's not on. I know Avi was pissed he wasn't on, but Thompson's 27. He's just hitting his prime. Okay. 145 career goals, 128 career assists, 273 points and 392 games played. The guy will lay a check. He's 6'6", 220. You're going to take a 5'8" guy? Now, look, if it's a all-star game skills thing, I still say you take Thompson. I think he can skate with Caulfield. I think he can do more on the ice than Caulfield. Thompson's my guy. Another Arizona kid, by the way. If you count Matthews and Nyes, and there's,
Clayton Keller.
I don't think he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Chicago. Pretty sure anyway. I'll double check. But Keller was another guy who wasn't on the team that I would have gladly seen on there. I would advocate for Keller. I would take Keller over. Again, I would just take Keller and Thompson over Caulfield easily.
It's going to be good. It's either way. It's going to be good. It sucks that Leon Draisaitl and just other players can't play in this thing, but
they could have done a world team.
They should have. They could have. They would have had Kopitar and Draisaitl, and they just should have had a world team.
Kucherov, the Russian goalies, Shesterkin, Sorokin, Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Are you fucking shitting me? Nobody has better goalies than the Russians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Brock Nelson, obviously, so I'm not going to say that because I watch a lot of Islanders because I like their broadcast team. It's sneaky good with Brendan Burke and Thomas Hickey. Hickey's working in Canada now for Amazon, so
Thomas Hickey's doing a good job.
He's really good, man. We didn't talk about the Stephen Valaket controversy yesterday. Did you guys want to spend any fucking time on that? I
missed it.
Yeah, it's not worth the time, I don't think. So yeah, even Avi saying no in the chat. Like, I thought, who cares what Valaket says?
Okay, well, boys, Binnington has a cup. Hellebuck doesn't have one. None of the U.S. goalies have a cup.
But if yeah, that's true.
How many cups?
Yeah, Aiden Hill has a cup. Yeah.
Cups.
Yeah. No, dude.
Cups mean nothing. Chris Kunitz has more than Crosby. Shut up. Who would you rather have, Chris Kunitz or Sidney Crosby?
Chris Kunitz does that more than Crosby.
He does.
How many does he have?
4.
Okay, he won with Anaheim. And then
2 with Pittsburgh.
Well, but Crosby's won 3.
He got 2. Kunitz was on the back-to-backs. He won 1 with Tampa. And he won 1 with Anaheim.
Was he on the 04 Tampa team?
I think we underestimated his sneakiness, Mr. Deeds.
Chris Kunitz has more cups than Sidney Crosby. Cups mean nothing when it comes to individual players.
Maybe goalies. Maybe goalies cups mean something.
I gotta look this up.
All right, look it up. I gotta grab a beer.
I believe Kunitz
You're right. He's got 4.
Yeah, he's 4 for 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, that's true, dude. I did not
He's
realize.
made more appearances in the Cup Finals than Gretzky.
Hell of a player, man. Dude, hell of a player. And hey, Rico, he's 100% right.
Oh,
Chris Kunitz won 4 Stanley Cups with the Pittsburgh in his career.
Wow.
Yeah,
but he wasn't a goalie. I'm talking goalie cups here. How many cups do your goaltenders have?
Irrelevant goalie stats here.
They're too young. But Jeremy Swayman could have one soon. Maybe not this year. But Boston's playing good hockey now. And you know what? St. Louis is on freaking fire.
So you're saying St. Louis is going to win a cup before Boston does?
Dude, St. Louis looks really good with Montgomery. I was so unplayed.
It's a new coach bump. It's the new coach
shit out of the Jets the other day.
It's the new coach bump. New coach bump.
Yeah, we've already had 2 coaching changes. Okay, so Monty's the first to go in Boston. Sacco takes over. He's a Boston guy. He's doing good. If the players are responding, I guess Monty had just lost a locker room there or something, huh? And then, but Monty looks equally revitalized and refreshed.
It's crazy how that happens.
For the Blues job, which I'm sorry, the guy's name escapes me right now. They got
Bannister?
Bannister, True Bannister. But I felt bad for the guy. He didn't look like a head coach. You can sometimes see a guy and go,
they shouldn't have even extended him.
Like, remember the guy who took over for Scotty Bowman after he left the Red Wings? I can't think of his name, but he was an assistant forever.
Oh, it started with an L. Lashall.
Lewis or something. Lewis.
Oh, Dave Lewis?
I
thought it was Mark Blashill.
No, not Blashill's bit was there a long time too, but he was young.
Dave Lewis took over. He was
Dave Lewis
coach. Yeah.
Dave Lewis.
He had the cookie duster, the nice mustache.
And he did not look like a head coach. I was like, that dude's not lasting. Because Scotty Bowman looked like a head coach. You know what I'm saying? John Tortorella looks like a head coach. Peter Laviolette looks like Spencer Carberry looks like a head coach. You know who's a damn fine man as a head coach? The Avalanche head coach. What's his name? Why can't I think of his
Drew
name? Bednar. What a man missile that dude is. Like his long gray ass hair, freaking.
Yeah, but you got a long fucking beautiful beard though.
What? He won a
You got a long beautiful beard. He's got long fucking hair on top.
Yeah,
it's all good.
I mean, his shit looks awesome, man. I gotta give him a lot of credit. So Kunitz won Kunitz won
a couple of golds.
Shit, I didn't realize Kunitz was on for 3. So he won 3 cups with Pittsburgh and the one with Anaheim.
All right.
So he was on all of Crosby's Cup Pittsburgh teams. He played for Pittsburgh.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my Team Canada lineup right now.
Go.
Can I do that for you?
Yeah, go.
Okay. First line, Connor McDavid, Brandon Hagel, Sam Reinhart. Second line, Sidney Crosby, Brad Marchand, Nate McKinnon. Third line, Braden Point, Travis Konechny, Mitch Marner. Fourth line, Anthony Cirelli, Sam Bennett, Mark Stone. Seth Jarvis hanging in the wings.
Hey, we did not talk about it's Cinnamon. Come on, I did.
Yeah. Taze McCarr, Theodore Petrangelo. Who?
We did not talk about Bennett being on there. And if you think the Kachuk boys and Bennett are gonna play, by the way, GDR Cinnamon Pony, we love you. We love you, and I put it in the chat, but we love you. Have a great day at work.
Imagine Sam Bennett and Marchand in the same locker room. They'd be like, I'm sorry to just sucker punch you in the face last year.
Yeah.
No big deal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is going to be gritty. 2-1, 1-0. I think 3-1, 3-2. I do not think this is going to feel like game 7s of the Stanley Cup. These are going to be playoff intense games. No doubt.
That's why I wanted Tom Wilson, Cirelli, and Bennett or Marchand. Like this.
But I like Bennett. If you're going to have a guy other than Tom Wilson.
Bennett's got 13 goals this year, too.
And I'll tell you right now, as a Caps fan, I'm absolutely happy that USA doesn't have to go up against Tom Wilson. And I'm glad Tom Wilson's not there to get hurt, do something dumb, and we need him for the playoffs, because I don't agree with Avi when he says the Devils. What did he say? Avi said, I got to go all the way back to where he said the best teams in the East. Gosh dang, where did he say?
Team Canada is going to have the best power play in the tournament. I'll tell you that right now.
And the worst goaltending.
I
think you guys need to win game 6-5.
Dude, Jordan Binnington's just going to turn into Jordan Binnington.
Jordan Binnington is a one-trick pony that happened to fuck me in 2018.
That's perfect. He's got ADHD, man. He'll fuck you when he needs to.
So he says Devils, Panthers, and Leafs are the 3 best teams. The Caps lead the East in points. You got to give the Caps some credit. They've won 4 straight without. They've just lost to the Sharks. I watched the game. The Sharks played incredible. They deserved to win the game. They should have won the game 4-1, and they won 2-1 with a 4-3 overtime power play, because Tom Wilson took a double minor at the end of the third. It was legit. I'm not complaining about the call. It looked like he nicked his visor. It was very, but he and he fell down and hit his nose. I don't know if he broke. I don't think Wilson's stick caused.
I'm just wondering who had the final say on these rosters. Even Team Canada, they had Doug Armstrong and Sweeney, and maybe that lent Doug Armstrong to take Parayko maybe instead of a Tanev, or then you got John Cooper, head coach, and he's got 4 Lightning on his team, whatever. Maybe he took Cirelli over to Wilson. So
Bobby, Caps are 2-3 versus the Devils this year. Just to tell you, we beat the Devils 2 out of 3. And in a playoff series, I like the Caps to beat the Devils because we know how to play physical. And yes, they have a physical guy, but Brennan Dillon's in their top pair. I love Brennan Dillon. He couldn't stay on the top 3 for the Caps when we had him, or the top 6.
Dude, you know what's crazy to see tonight? When I watch that Nashville game, Brady Shea, Stamkos, Marchessault, these guys don't seem to be in sync on this team. They came out firing against the Leafs, and the Leafs just plugged the middle up. They got the good saves when they needed to. They just stayed to their structure. But, man, Brady Shea was awesome on Carolina last year.
They scored the first goal.
Yeah, it went off the stanchion and up in the air and landed behind Wool's head, and you'll never see that goal again in your life. Then the next one was kind of a bit of a bounce too, but, fuck, it sucks, man. Stamkos got most of his points on the power play this year. He's got no even strength points. I think he's got 3 all year.
They're going to move those guys. I think Trotz spent the money. I think he'll eat the salary and get good picks. Could you imagine if you retain Stamkos at 50%? They can afford it and send him to a team that's in desperate need of a power. I'll tell you right now, Washington, if Alexander Ovechkin didn't come back, they could use him. He would fill right in there at left wing.
Those are wingmen. They're wide receivers. They all need quarterbacks, man. Marchessault always had one in Vegas, and Stamkos always had one in Tampa.
See what they need to do there, Rico. If I'm the coach, I get Yossi to take the puck down low. I just get Yossi to jump in the play. He's such a good passer. You know this. You hit on a Yossi prop every damn day last year.
Yeah, Yossi assist prop again tonight.
Yeah, the dude can pass. So get him to be the guy that's your bumper. You know what I'm saying? Don't play him. I know his shot is incredible.
They just needed Tommy Novak to
Brady Shea has a great shot. Put Brady Shea up there as your defenseman shooting and play, or Gustav Nyquist or somebody that can pass. Marchessault can pass, by the way. But the problem is Marchessault and Stamkos are the same fucking player. They're scoring wingers. It's
too many wide receivers, not enough quarterbacks.
I love
Tommy Novak didn't take another step this year. Colton Sissons is in a second line center, and Ryan O'Reilly is in a number 1 center. even though he's got that Nyquist Forsberg line with him.
Yeah, it's just a bad fit. Mike, you were kind of on this at the beginning of the year. You did not like Nashville.
Mike's still drowning in the Kool-Aid, I think.
Yeah, we've busted out the rowboats. We've placed a few other. We may have cashed out a couple of these bets to save the pennies and bet them other places, but we've busted out the rowboats here on Nashville's Stanley Cup chances.
How many people were jumping on the Preds to win the Cup as soon as they signed Shea, Stamkos, Marchessault? Okay, this is it. Let's go.
They're going to be a top 5 lottery, dude. They're going to be a top 5
Dude,
lottery.
they were like second to the Hawks, I think, in the bottom of the Western Conference going into tonight.
Yeah, but Chicago's going to get another good player. They need it because they don't look good.
Dude, man, that's scary.
I was impressed with Bedard tonight, though. He was all over the place. I think he did take it like personally, but dude, I know he leads the Blackhawks in points, but guys, he doesn't need to be on this team. He's not ready, and he doesn't need pressure. You've got this is Connor McDavid's.
Yeah. No Celebrini, no Bedard. Just let the.
I would have been okay with Celebrini though.
Instead of who?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what Mark meant. Did you get to listen to Mark Messier today on Kipper and Moore? What an unbelievable interview. One
of the best interviews
they've ever done, period. So, hey, here's our good friend Darkness.
What's up, Darkness, I agree.
Darkness says, the Predators' record is proof that the cliche saying Father Time is undefeated is true, like most of their core guys are on the wrong side of 30. Yeah, Darkness, that's not the problem. If you watch them, they're not slow. They just don't make any sense on the ice. They have too many of the same player. They already had a scoring winger in Philip Forsberg, and they added 2 more in Stamkos and Marchessault. Yes, I know they can move one to the right wing and the left wing, but they need a puck distributor to go with those guys. Every one of those guys needs someone to get them the puck or someone to get the puck on the net. Marchessault can get some stuff. So I just Hobby says Celebrini should be on Team Canada, but I wasn't sure, man. I liked that they shot their shot. I think it's good for the game of hockey to have a bunch of shit go on in free agency because the NBA has it all the time, the NFL has it all the time now, and people are into it. And I love trade deadline like that shit, and July 1st free agent frenzy. Those are shits we cover.
When there was no salary cap, it was unbelievable. Remember back in the day when there was no salary cap,
it was
the
like
NHL
the
trade
NBA is. It was like the NBA. It's like Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball's off season's kind of yawn. It's kind of boring. But like NFL's is like, dude, they cover it for 2 months between the draft and all that. And the NHL draft is huge. So you got the NHL draft and the free agent frenzy all around the same time. It's always nuts.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's great for the sport. It kind of gets gets me off my paddleboard and gets me back into getting into hockey again.
When you have a salary cap, the trade deadline's mostly trading for picks. But you look at these 2 guys who they played with, 2 arguably the best passers in the NHL today, in Jack Eichel and Kucherov. And now they both go to Nashville. And they're like, who's feed me the puck? Ryan O'Reilly, Tommy Novak, Colton Sissons. Those are our 3 top centers. Something went wrong there. They just didn't judge that right.
They get rid of Tomasino was a top pick. Like Pittsburgh.
Kiefer Sherwood's a sneaky good player too. That they sent off to Vancouver.
That's a great ad by Vancouver. That's going to go down as maybe one of the best additions. So yeah, Avi, we're going to talk about tomorrow's games here in a bit. We'll get to it.
I mean, I know the Bruins are talking about being sellers. Does Potters get moved and go over to Nashville?
No, you can't. If you're Sweeney, you cannot get rid of any young talent. You know who you got to trade if you're out of it. You'll get a whale's tail for him.
Charlie McAvoy?
No.
Brad Marchand?
Brad Marchand.
I've been saying trade him for a couple years now.
Dude, they could get like, let's say Pittsburgh makes it in and they make a move. Marchand's done. Like, this is his last year, right? He's a UFA. So, and honestly, he's picked it up. He had 2 goals tonight, but I mean, let's see what he has by the end of the year. Now, look, he has 30 and 85 points or whatever, probably bringing him back. But what if he has 35 points?
Yeah.
Avi, I know, but like, if the Bruins fall out of it, I'll tell you right now, they'll forgive Sacco if like Swayman goes down or Charlie McAvoy misses a lot of time or Pasternak gets injured. Or all of the above, everybody like, okay, Boston, you just don't have to bring up. Like, you can't, Charlie Coyle ain't going to carry you over the top. Because I think you guys are just thin. So if you could trade Marchand for a couple of first rounders and maybe what about, Pittsburgh just got a nice little asset that's not playing for them. And the kid played for Michigan, Rucker McGrody.
Oh, he just went to Pittsburgh?
He got traded in the offseason for Brandon Yeager from the Winnipeg Jets to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, Mike, you might not have been.
I love McGrody.
Yeah, McGrody started in the NHL this year. He got sent down after like 3 games. They made a good choice to send him to the AHL.
Yeah, they needed to. He didn't want to leave college. He just hated the coach.
But if you're the Boston Bruins, you could add a guy like McGrody in a first-round pick for Brad Marchand on an expiring deal to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Would you do it?
I was the guy that said trade Bergeron. Like I didn't want to let him end his career here. I wanted to sell him high.
Oh no, I mean that would have been. Oh, somebody said something about the Predators record. Oh yeah, he did. I already brought that up.
Yeah, if you're telling me we could get McCrory or someone like him in a first rounder for Brad, yeah, I'm selling hardcore. I don't believe this team is not a Stanley Cup team. In my mind, if I can't win a cup, lose as many games as possible, get the best pick.
Yeah, no, I agree, but they're not fucking going to do that. There's no way Sweeney and Neely are going to do that.
No, but that's just my philosophy.
They need to do it. Everybody in the NHL knows they need to do it, but they won't do it.
Nope, you got to sell tickets.
Yeah, I love how somebody on Twitter earlier was being like, "Yeah, I don't get Travis Sanheim." Then Joel Farabee went on Twitter and said, "Watch a game." So basically, watch a game, not the name. Apparently, just backing up this defenseman, Travis Sanheim. And I mean, Konechny's got 30 points in 25 games or whatever, too. So nobody watches Philadelphia Flyer games. So that's why they're always critical about players on the Philly games in Canada.
I had no problem with Konechny or Sanheim being on Team Canada. I watch a lot of Flyers games because, again, I like their broadcast team. Jim Jackson, one of the best play-by-play guys out there. I love to listen to that guy call games. He is outstanding. And they're another broadcast team that when their team doesn't do something right, they call it like it is. So,
and that's cool, Beard, because you know what? The whole nation of Canada is going to be watching, and they're going to half the people in Canada are going to be like, who the hell is Travis Sanheim? And they're going to know who the hell this guy is by the time the tournament's done.
Yeah, it's good for those guys, Rico. I'm super happy for them. And we knew those guys made the team a couple of days ago. So I think people kind of knew they were going to be on there. I like the picks. I think Sanheim's a heck of a defenseman too. Okay, DG says Marchand for Cowan and pick. That's Easton Cowan.
Oh God, no!
You imagine Marchand on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I'd love it, but fucking Easton Cowan's a Marchand, but 10 years younger.
No, they're not going to trade Cowan. Pate Hockey refuses to do that trade with me, and I just think they value him too high. Now, who's the kid that played a little Fraser Minton? He could be a guy. I might get something for him. I think he's a guy they could move on from. Yeah. Robertson, they keep saying, but like to me, you can't trade Robertson.
Wait, Robertson on the Stars is going to get traded? That's a rumor?
No, Nick Robertson for the Leafs. He just flies around there and he just does a lot, but nothing happens. He's like
he's just not getting his goals. he was getting him at a lower level. It just happens to the best of them sometimes.
Yeah,
And if
it's
you can't
just a
do
fit,
anything-
man. It feels
But
like
that's the
Nick
thing.
Robertson's just not a fit. But if he goes
He
somewhere
is-
like San Jose, he'll be playing second line minutes and he'll probably pop 20 a year.
Kipper says this all the time, Rico, and you know this to be true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, I taped on the Matthews C Junior B Northern Ontario style. We put the white tape C on our jerseys whenever the captain would be on the ice at night. So I put on the white captain, just put the white tape on the jersey. Like, hey, who's captain tonight?
I like it.
I love it, by the way. I said I was going to maybe get this. So I saw somebody on Reddit today, hockey jerseys, that took some really sick jerseys and made them even better. Just like had a name of one player and then got a really nice, cool name on, and there were sick jerseys. I loved it. So I was like, I love, just because you get a 7 Jonathan Taves jerseys doesn't mean you can't change it to 98 Bedard or 88 Kane or who else do I want from Chicago Blackhawks? Bobby Hull. I don't know. Not a lot of Bobby Hull supporters now, but
yeah.
Okay, let's talk about tomorrow's game versus the Jets and the Sabres. What do you got? Who do you like here, boys?
If Helly's going, I'm taking the Jets.
The Jets are coming off a loss, and the Sabres are probably coming off the worst loss of the season, boys. Up 4-0 to lose nothing but 5-4 in regulation to Colorado. You give up 5 fucking unanswered goals after you score 4 in the first. Like, unbelievable. Like, probably the nail in the Buffalo Sabres coffin. Sucky. And they're wasting another good year from Tage Lemieux, as Kipper would say.
I like the Jets if Hellebuck's going. If not, I still think I'm on the Jets, but it makes me think about it a little more.
Buffalo's going to get destroyed. Winnipeg scoring 6 goals or 4. What is it? 6 goals in the last 4 games. Like, they got to wake up here. Yeah. After losing to the Jets or to the Blues at home. Holy moly. I feel bad for Buffalo and Chicago on this 2-game road swing for
I do too.
Winnipeg.
And Hellebuck's going to be fired up making the team.
Yeah, and Scheifele going to be fired up because he got snubbed from the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God. Now this whole distraction of the who's being picked on what team, and they said just hang on in the weeds. Somebody might get hurt or whatever. Scheifele's probably the next one hanging out there in the weeds in case somebody gets hurt for Team Canada. So, yeah, I feel bad for Buffalo here. It's
I wouldn't
not
even
going to be
bet
good.
this game. I wouldn't even bet this game. I would just bet maybe Lemieux. I would bet Tage Thompson gets a goal. He's coming off a 2-goal performance.
And a snub from Team US. So I'd take Tage Thompson to show up in this game for sure.
That would be a win-win for me. I'd be happy because I love the kid, and but stranger things have happened. Buffalo could win this game. We are just saying this. We like the Jets. Mike, you're on the Jets, right?
I'm on the Jets, especially if Hellebuck's running.
Oh, Hellebuck's on. This is a must-win for the Jets coming off 4 straight losses. It's going to be a massacre. 4-1 Jets. If Buffalo can.
We got 9 games, so I want to get to them all here.
Yeah.
Preds at Canadians. I like the Preds here. I didn't think they played bad against Toronto. I thought they played a really good game up until the end there. Just kind of fell apart in third period, really. They played a decent game. So I've actually not seen them get too terribly blown out, but they just can't stop. They can't score. I mean, that's their problem. They don't have enough distributors. They have a lot of trigger pullers, like Rico said. I like the Habs here probably, but because it's plus money.
I don't mind the Habs here either because Montembeault is probably going to go, and just a little high of him starting or like being on
Caulfield. If
and the
our friend
snub.
It's the goalie matchups listed as Annunen and Montembeault.
Okay, Justus Annunen who just got traded to Nashville from Colorado for Wedgwood.
Probably trying to prove a point here.
For Scott Wedgwood, yeah, because they're trying to give Georgiev a little bit of a rest in Colorado land. And as they showed in Buffalo, they desperately need one because they cannot keep the puck out of their net. To me, if Colorado doesn't figure out their defense and their goaltending, they're not doing shit in the playoffs. They're getting beat by a Seattle or a team that had to work, a Utah, a team that worked their ass off to get in. They're gonna get beat by a team that has better goaltending and defense than them. And that, because you could shut the top lines down. You just did. Like did McDavid and Draisaitl had no points in the last 2 games of the Stanley Cup final. Make no mistake. That was the difference.
I like Montreal in this spot.
Yeah, I would be all over the Habs at plus money here.
I don't think I can touch this game.
The Preds are awful, dude. We just have to admit it. They're not good. They can't score.
Stamkos took the money. Marchessault took the money. They're not fucking meshing together. It might take another year or two, and these veteran guys to still be there, or they trade them away. They won't be able to get rid of
Marchessault 50% retained to go back to Vegas for a 4th-round pick.
Then they'll carry him for that contract? Dude, they just signed this year.
They only gave him like 4 years. So if you knock this one out, you only have 3 left. If he goes back to Vegas at 50% return.
How many years did Stamkos get there?
I thought he got a much longer deal. His is going to be a much harder sell. But see, my thought was too, like if Ovechkin. So let's say they keep Stamkos for the next 2 years. He doesn't do much. Ovechkin retires. I could see a fit for Stamkos on the Capitals. Get some money. They maybe get a younger player to kind of fits their build that maybe we're a little bit heavy on. Like we give up a Hendrix Lapierre or a Miroshnichenko because we got Ryan Leonard coming because they ain't trading Ryan Leonard.
You're an idiot if you trade Leonard. That guy is a force.
No, I'm going to lose my effing mind if they trade Leonard. They cannot do it. I have Philip Forsberg nightmares all the time.
Yeah, Washington ain't winning the cup with Ovechkin in the lineup. Is that right? Like while Ovechkin's 10 years there?
I think they could. I think they could still.
You think Washington could still win a cup while Ovechkin's on that team?
So I'll tell you, Rico, before this season, I would have told you, I would have 100% agreed with you. But since I've seen what I've seen, it's some of the best hockey I can remember them ever playing. And I'm talking about, I remember all their President's Cup when they were breaking records. There was just something about them I didn't like. Like, I didn't like the hockey for some reason. I was always, now, because we lost in the playoffs forever and a day and we never won shit, you know how it is as a Leafs fan. You don't have a lot of confidence anyway. But I probably didn't know how to articulate it to myself because I didn't understand the game like I do today. But there was always something I didn't like about their game. And Pittsburgh had the center depth. Like, Crosby has Malkin and Letang. Like, Ovechkin had Mike Green.
Backstrom.
And Nick Backstrom. Now, Backstrom.
And Carlson.
Backstrom is a much better defensive player than he gets credit for. And probably way better than Geno Malkin.
Okay, so let me stop you there. Who would you rather have? Crosby, Malkin, Letang, or Backstrom, Ovechkin, Carlson? I think that's a pretty even.
Well, Carlson wasn't a part of the original in the early years with the Caps, man. He wasn't there till he won the World Juniors in 2011, whatever. So he wasn't even on the first 7 or 8 years of that thing. Mike Green was kind of the guy that came.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So Mike Green
and Orpik, right? Orpik and Green.
He scored. No, Brooks Orpik was not with. He was with the Penguins in 2009 when they won a cup. So no, Orpik was not with the Caps until we won the cup with him. He was only there of 3 or 4 years. In fact, he got traded back. I love Orpik, by the way. It's a jersey I gotta have. Just love the dude. Absolutely. I know he played for Pittsburgh. He's named after Herb Brooks.
So who is John Carlson's best left-hand defenseman while he was there? And who is Mike Green's best left-handed defenseman while Mike Green was there?
So Greeny played. So I would say Alzner was probably Carlson.
Cole Alzner. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and then because he got a big contract from Montreal, and Washington was like, "Yeah, we'll let you go." My big problem with Carl was he just was. You know, he kind of reminds me of, and Hot Take Hockey will probably. He kind of reminds me of a Justin Hall, who's Canadian. I just like he leaves you wanting more. Also, there was the guy who's almost the exact type of player is Alzner. Started with it, Justin or not. He led the NHL in frickin' plus minus 1 year. I'll look it up here and then we'll go. Oh shoot, let me stop sharing. Jeff Schultz. Good puck mover, not a physical bone in his body. It looked like a bag of dough on the ice, too. And moved people out of the freaking crease like he was a bag of dough. Meaning he didn't do that very well. But offensively, he was good. Like he was always on for goals for because he'd get the puck up the ice. I think that was kind of the origins of the analytics a little bit there. But sometimes you just need to have great effing hockey players. If we look at all the teams that win, they have high-end skill. Yeah, Draisaitl and McDavid didn't win because, they face teams with higher-end skill. Eichel and Stone, that cancels those two out. Who's got the better goalie? Well, Anaheim or Vegas did. Florida beats them in the final. Okay. Yeah, you got Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard. Well, Kachuk, Bennett, Verhaeghe, Reinhart. Like, it just starts, yes, okay. They had better players. They had better. The defense was even, in my opinion, and the goaltending was better. You've got a 2-time Vezina Trophy winning goalie in net who's, when he played on a defensive team, looked like Dominik Hasek in his prime. I mean, and Bob, people forget Bob at the first part of because the way the Stanley Cup Finals went, he had like a 980 save percentage. He was a killing team. He was unbelievable. And then they were up 3-0. He stole game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So I still think he could have won the Conn Smythe because it's the play. I get McDavid's tied a record with points and shit. He deserved it. I'm not mad about it, but like I don't think anybody would have cried if Sergei Bobrovsky brought home the Conn Smythe. He fucking deserved it.
I didn't think McDavid deserved it because he didn't do anything in the final, and that's
the last 2 games that matter. He didn't do anything, but dude, that's how it works. You remember Game 6 that Pittsburgh won? Max Talbot scored both goals. Like Crosby wasn't even on the ice for him, so it's like it didn't have anything to do with winning. That's why it's like it's a team thing. That's why you need the team thing. So, but in the Cup final, Rico, if you're still with us.
I think he darted for the second.
It was Michael Kempney was his partner, was Carlson's partner. So that's been the most successful pairing with Carlson. But like Alzner was with him a long time. So okay, next game, Red Wings Senators. Oh man, I'm taking the Red Wings at plus money. They're going to be pissed. They got jobbed in the last game they were in against Boston. They got jobbed.
You say you got jobbed, but I mean, that last minute of the third, no one was complaining when Pasta got slashed. So, I mean.
No, I'm just saying, like,
that was definitely in overtime. There was a penalty on Boston that wasn't called, but
no,
I'm saying.
I mean, I saw the play. I didn't think it was a penalty myself, but I'm just telling you, they think they got jobbed. I don't care. I don't care what the reality is. If they didn't get jobbed or they did, I only watched a little bit of that. I saw that play. I didn't think it was a penalty. When they replayed it, I didn't think it was a penalty. I think the ref thought he lost his edge, and that's sort of what it looked like. If he got hit with the stick, it was really slight. And I just, it did have a bearing on the goal being scored, though. So sometimes that's a penalty. But anyway, I'm just saying, regardless of what my opinion is, here's the reality. The fucking Detroit Red Wings think it's a penalty. And they are going to be pissed. And I don't know what to make of Ottawa. Ottawa, maybe we need to change the scenery for some players. Maybe Ottawa and the Rangers trade a few. Maybe they trade some important pieces like Mika and Kreider for Shane Pinto and Brady. I don't know. They're not going to trade Brady Tkachuk, but Shane Batherson or something. I don't know. The stove's ready. I got the notification on.
I'm having trouble betting this game just because you're asking me to put money on Detroit, and I've done it so many times this year that they've let me down.
I know, but
then,
Ottawa.
Yeah, but Husso's supposed to be going. You're asking me to bet on a guy with over 4 goals against?
No. If Husso's going, I maybe stay away from it.
Yeah, this is the problem I'm having.
Too, because he had such a good. Did Pens just trade someone right now, Avi?
What?
They're making some moves, man. Where'd you see that, Avi? All I'm getting is the Biz Marchand shit, which is just like, who fucking cares? I love Biz, man, but let's keep the Irish Travelers in our minds. We need to catch these fucking thieves.
Philip Tomasino in exchange for a 27th.
Oh, that was that.
Pick.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
we talked about Tomasino. They did. Yeah, Tomasino was a high pick.
I just Googled it. That's the only one I
hope
got.
Zegras scores. That's all I give a shit about. Let's get a Zegras goal score. Let's get a Zegras score. Okay, sure. Next game, because Rico's not with us. Sharks Lightning. Dude, I'm telling you, the Sharks they started off bad. They're a good team. They were bad because Celebrini wasn't playing. They are good.
I have them at over 80
points. Themselves out of a top 5 pick. They're going to be in the mix. Mark my fucking words. I'm on the record, so this is on fucking the internet. This is December the 4th. I live in Anchorage, Alaska. It is currently 7:43 p.m. my time.
11:43 East Coast time.
Eastern Standard Time. The fucking Sharks will be in the mix for the playoffs by the end of the year. Mark my words. They are a good team. They have a good effing team. That Warsofsky, that guy's the Jack Adams. I don't want my coach getting it because it's the kiss of fucking death. So don't give it to Spencer Carberry. Okay, so I like the Sharks at plus 235 here. The Lightning are kind of mid. They'll lose some games. Now, they beat the shit out of the Caps, I think. So that's a bad matchup for us. We don't want to play them.
Yeah, but you're out.
But I like the Sharks here, man. And they played the Caps well. And they could have, honestly, Logan Thompson was so good in net. I guarantee they won the high danger chances. And I would definitely take the San Jose Sharks at plus 235. The money is worth it. $10 on you double your money. Someone walk in your thing?
That's not me.
That's Rico. Okay. All right. Who do you like here? Sharks? Because we gotta get going. I know you.
Sharks to win 4 in a row. It sounds crazy to me. So, but the Lightning.
Pittsburgh Penguins just won 4 in a row, and they were bottom, and they're like a minus 76 team. The only team that they're better than is the Sharks. So, but the big glaring thing to me is Macklin Celebrini was ready for the NHL, and he is a phenomenal player.
Right, and Tampa's had 5 days off.
What?
Tampa's had 5 days off.
Yeah, even worse for an older team. I like the Sharks, dude. They stick check better than any team I have seen, and like Denver did, like so well, man. I was like, what in the fuck is going on? the Capitals look like dog shit, which is what I expected them to look like without Ovechkin. Then they won 4 in a row. The Sharks are going to win 4 in a row. I'm taking them at plus 235 here. No fucking way. I understand you saying no, but I want to defend my point on why I like the Sharks here. Who's in net though? If it's their backup,
Blackwood versus Vasilevsky right now.
Okay, well, Blackwood was in net against the Caps, and he only let one in, and it was not a bad goal by any stretch.
I think he's a decent goalie.
Dude, he was being looked at for Team Canada. If you look, he's in the top statistics there. So yeah, Rico, who do you like here? We get on to the next game, Panthers Flyers.
Yeah, I just seen something that I don't like is Ty Ginla's season's over. He underwent hip surgery.
Oh, we just got that news.
Yeah, so I guess his season's over. Utah prospect.
Who broke that?
Not sure, but I just saw it pop up on my phone. Ty Ginla, season-ending hip surgery. Team announced. God.
Well, he wasn't gonna. Oh yeah, Kelowna Rockets broke it. What?
Oh, God.
I retweeted it from them. Okay, yeah, TSN. TSN has it. Holy shit. Okay, we just have some breaking news. Tage Agenla, Utah head coach Bill Armstrong announced that Tage Agenla underwent successful hip surgery and will miss the remainder of the season. But he wasn't playing in Utah, was he?
No, prospect.
He was back with his junior team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't go to AHL. He's too young. So he was playing with his junior team.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get 10 games in the NHL. You got a picture with Celebrini at the last year at BU? Yeah.
Oh, that's sick, man.
That's awesome, Avi. Yeah. Okay. Panthers, Flyers.
Give me the Panthers. Flyers, you've won too many games in a row. And the Panthers are going to come back after.
Yeah, they should have beat Pittsburgh.
They should have beat Pittsburgh. It was a massive letdown. Then it was a hype and this and that. Give me Bobby and the Panthers.
Yeah. This would be a massacre. You probably see Fedotov in that.
Fedotov has been good, by the way, as of late. When I've seen him,
yeah.
He's looked good. He's starting to figure out the North American game. They just need to be patient with him. Quite frankly, the Flyers do not need to make the playoffs. They should not want to make the playoffs. They should be exactly where they want to be last year and not make the fucking playoffs. They need to get rid of some of their older talent and get some. Farabee is a guy. Edmonton, right fucking now, they need scoring. Like, that's a guy. If I'm Stan Bowman, I'm trying to add Farabee, and I think he will. They could win the cup with that guy if he finds his scoring touch, man. Like, that's how skilled that guy is. But he's not. He doesn't have it this year, and they can get value, real value. I know Edmonton has no prospects, but get like a couple of first rounders from them, you know, because Edmonton's going to fall off fast because they're like the second oldest team in the NHL. So it doesn't feel like it, but they are. So, and people go, what about the Capitals? Capitals are like the third youngest team in the NHL. They have Ovechkin and Carlson on their roster. So, like, you could say, oh, they have Corey Perry, but like, dude, Edmonton's an old team. Lindholm's 34, like, Ekholm.
Yeah. I like the over in this game, though.
Yeah, what's the over?
I don't know, whatever it's set up. But even if it's a 6, I'll take the over.
By the way, Kings tied it up. It's 2-2.
Yeah, and they got a power play.
Kings are going on a power play.
Joel Edmondson even scored.
What?
Joel Edmondson even got a goal.
Yeah, I like Joel Edmondson. He was on that Cup team for that St. Louis Blues Cup team had the deepest defensive team I can ever remember. They had Jay Bouwmeester. They had Alex Pietrangelo. They had Colton Parayko. They had Joel Edmondson. There's a couple other.
They had Carl Gunnarsson, I think. He was playing good too. The ex-league.
And they had Michael Del Zotto as a healthy scratch. Like, Del Zotto was a top 4 guy at his prime. Like, very good player. So, and he's on the cup.
Yeah, no, I'm glad St. Louis won the cup. I'm glad they won the cup that year.
Yeah, I was rooting for him. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I have no bad blood against him. I don't like Binnington.
The Bruins deserve to win too, man. They played unbelievable.
You're gonna hate Binnington more in this tournament too, probably. Because he's gonna be a starting goalie.
I just don't like his crap he does in between.
Whatever,
the
if
whistles,
he gets lit up for 7 by Finland, you ain't gonna be saying that shit, buddy.
Oh my God, I'm hoping and praying.
Sebastian Aho scores a fucking hat trick on his ass. You're gonna be like,
dude, this thing is gonna be so over and done so fast. Like they play basically 4 games. Like there's nothing.
3 weeks though, so they're gonna have a lot of time. I don't know. I guess.
They play each other once, and the 2 best teams play each other for
the finals are in Boston. So, Mike, if it's USA Canada, are you trying to go?
Yeah, I've got plenty of credit cards, so yeah, we're going.
Oh, you're going?
Yeah, no, I will find a way. I haven't bought the tickets yet, but if I see USA Canada, if I can get it under $6, I'm gonna go.
600?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, I would fly from Alaska to go.
But like, I'm nervous because like I know.
Don't tempt Beard, man, because he's flown to Toronto from Alaska.
Oh, I will fucking come.
Yeah, I mean,
I get tickets.
My issue is what are they going to cost?
When is this shit supposed to be?
Yeah, well, now I got to check because I just bought tickets for the USA Sweden game. Let's go to the next game. I'll look up ticket prices.
Avalanche Hurricanes. This is a fucking good game. I like the Hurricanes here. They got beat badly by Columbus. They're going to be real pissed. And they're going to be jacked as shit for Slavin and Jarvis making USA and Canada respectively. So I think this is going to be a nice game. I think this is going to be a good game. I take the under, though.
Fuck me. $240. It's actually $10 less than USA Sweden. They haven't announced the teams yet. I'm in.
You get the tickets now?
I'm buying them right now.
How much?
$240 plus fees.
There you go. Get them. Where are you sitting?
I'm gonna sit.
Who cares?
What are the dates? What are the dates?
You're in the building.
February 20th.
Okay.
I'm in section 308, row 14.
One thing I learned about watching hockey games, man, sometimes you could have more fun sitting up.
You just get one ticket?
Dope.
You got 2 tickets. Okay. You gonna take your dad? You gonna take your dad?
I'm going to take whoever the fuck wants to go. Maybe it's a guy from Alaska.
Okay. Well, ask your dad first because I know
he can't go. It's a Thursday. He's out.
Well, just make sure, dude. And then maybe I come to fucking Boston for this motherfucker. This would be good for the show. We need to do this.
I have an extra ticket if you want it.
Yeah. Okay.
My phone is frozen right now, but I am taking Carolina. I don't like how Colorado's played.
We'll talk, but I do want you to a family. Okay. You like Colorado here, Mike?
No. I like Carolina. Colorado can't stop the puck. Carolina just lost at home. They're coming back. They're getting the dub.
Yeah. Carolina lost to Seattle for the first time ever at home. So they've had a couple bad losses. So, yeah, where are you at, Rico?
Yeah, I'll take their Hurts at home, too. After a little bit of a losing skid, Brindenburg's going to be like, yay, you want to test yourself against a Western Conference team right now coming into our building? You want to get off the schneid? This is how you do it. You beat this fucking team right now. So,
Obviously,
pardon my language.
We're all on the Canes. That means bet the Canes.
Canes, 100%.
Kraken Islanders. And I will say this. Seattle has been playing better than their record reflects. They desperately need to get a win here against a team they're just better than. What I've liked from Seattle as of late, and this I'm saying this because they're plus money, the Islanders are favored, is they are getting a lot of scoring as of late, and that is good. Some of their guys are starting to put the puck in the net, and that's been their big problem to start the year. They weren't getting the puck luck, and they weren't getting the goals. But I didn't hate their performance against Anaheim. They lost 5-2. Seeing them live, I was like, okay, they're just not scoring. And they had some grade A shot chances. They just need, then Shane Wright gets 2 goals the other day. Like him and Matty Bernier get going, they're going to be good. Schwartz is getting some goals. That's a good sign. And if they get Eberle back before the season ends, they're going to compete for a playoff spot. I'm taking the Kraken at plus money. I don't like the Islanders at all, but they'll beat the Capitals like 2 out of 4 for sure. So division rival. Usually if you go 500, you call it a dub. So I wouldn't be surprised if they took 3 or 4. They're a tough team, but I like Seattle here at plus money. Rico, what do you got?
I don't mind the Kraken here either. Little spot for the Islanders after being home against Buffalo, going to Montreal, back home against the Kraken, and then they're probably sitting at home waiting for Saturday night for the Hurricanes to come into town. Patrick Waugh, man, I just thought he'd be having this team playing a little better than they are. But
they got injuries, Rico.
Yeah.
Barzal being out fucking kills them.
Yeah,
he's,
and
he's far away the best.
There's no talent in your lineup, exactly. So
I mean,
there's
like
just
Horvat.
not much you can do.
I like Horvat. I like Nelson. This is the same problem that Nashville has. They have a bunch of guys that can put the puck in the net. They don't have anybody to get the puck to them. They've got decent back end. They've got world-class goalie. They are missing Barzal, who's their number one puck distributor, but he hasn't figured out what he is in the NHL yet. Once he figures out what kind of player he wants to be, he's going to be a great player. I just think he's going to have a smaller window than like some of his peers because he's kind of stifled.
I know. And Noah Dobson's been a snub on Canada too, but he's got 1 goal all year. It's like the guy can't do it all himself back there either.
Yeah,
so.
and that's what I'm saying. Like I like their back end. I think it's good, and they have a deep team. If Barzal's healthy, I like Horvat. I like Nelson. Anders Lee, like they got a good team, man. Like they're not bad. It's just I don't think they're gonna beat this Kraken team the way they're playing right now, but. I just think Barzal being out was the end. That was a team that couldn't afford to have catastrophic injuries, and for them, Barzal is catastrophic, and that just changes the whole dynamic. You got guys playing up where they're not shouldn't be playing, and that's what their problem is this year. So you got it.
No, there's a lot of teams in the NHL that I don't like, and the Islanders aren't one of them. I like the Islanders. I always cheered for them. I always liked seeing them fucking do well. So.
Oh yeah, I love the Islanders. We've had Kim on here. We got to get Kim on to talk about the Islanders. Isles Girl 3. She's one of the biggest Islander fans. She's so positive and awesome. She's a nurse. She's a Long Island gal. Mike, you'll have to be on with her. She's good people's Kim Moya. So anyway, we love Kim.
I've never met a bad person from the island.
She's such a great person, man, and she's a diehard fan. She goes to a ton of games, and after the game, she goes and has dinner with her grandpa at a diner. She's a great kid, man.
True fans.
Yeah,
True fans.
She's legit. When I say I want to do like Friday night super fan night, like she's one of the people I want to have on. But she lives a pretty good life, man. She goes to a lot of rock shows and stuff. She's into the hardcore metal and stuff. So
I think she was at New England Hardcore Music Fest.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about because she paints her lipstick.
Yeah, and that's why I think I saw her at that festival.
Yeah. She's awesome, man. Yeah. She probably was. She's huge. So I just like the Kraken here. Rico's on the Isles. Who do you like here?
If I have to pick, I'm taking the Kraken, but I'm not putting money on this one. It's too close for me.
Yeah,
and I don't like the Kraken on the
road.
road.
With that one too, man. Okay, Blues Flames. Man, the Blues have been playing good under Monty, and the Flames are coming off a real emotional win at home off the Blue Jackets. I like the Blues again, plus money here. I might, if I was betting, I would parlay my plus money teams tonight because I liked. Who did I like? I like the Sharks big time at plus 225. I like the Kraken and I like the Blues so far. What do you think, Mike? Who do you like here? Blues or Flames? I just think Calgary with that emotional game against Columbus where people are crying on the ice and, they did such a beautiful tribute to Johnny Gaudreau.
They did a good job. I want to right now it's Bennington versus Vladar.
Yeah.
And
I like Vladar.
I do too.
Yeah.
I don't.
I haven't liked Bennington. Bennington's numbers are shit.
He's got a 287.
Well, he's. Oh, I'm sorry. He's been better as of late.
But yeah, you're right. I guess it's a no bet for me.
Vegas just scored. I think it 3-1.
I knew not to take the Ducks, but I took them.
We were kind of all over the Ducks, man. Alexander Holtz, man, starting to get going for the Vegas Golden Knights. You watch the fuck out, dude. I keep thinking, Rico, that they're a looming giant in the West because nobody got better in the West, man. Edmonton is not the team they were last year. Vancouver is not the team they were last year. Dallas is not the team they were last year. The only team I think that's better than they were last year in the West is the Winnipeg Jets. Well, you know what? I strike that because I really like the Minnesota Wild, but Winnipeg and Minnesota are going to cancel each other out. Who do you like here, Rico? Jets, Blues. Blues, Flames. Blues in Flames.
Yeah, I don't mind taking the Blues here. I think Calgary's a little bit going back to their means here. So
yeah, and the Blues been playing good hockey.
They've been playing
4-1 in Winnipeg.
Wicked hockey, man. I mean, yeah, dude. You can't not take the Blues here.
The NHL anymore.
Better coach team, better vets. Better direction. I mean, Calgary was great at the beginning of the year. Good story, but this is not where they're supposed to be. So they're just going to regress to the means and Monty's.
And I do like Bennington over Vladar in this matchup. So another reason to take the Blues at plus money, Mike. Plus 110. All over the Blues. Let's not overthink it. We got one last game.
Yeah, overthink it.
Yeah. The Blue Jackets are plus 225 at Edmonton. I got to tell you, boys, I have yet to see a game where I've liked Edmonton. They have not looked like the better team. Now they had a nice. They always have that last minute offensive push, but they don't like playing in their own end. If you get somebody that can grind it out with them, the Blue Jackets have been playing some really good hockey here, man. Yeah, they lost a super emotional game to Calgary 3-0. They're going to be fired the fuck up in this Edmonton game, and I think they're going to fucking play balls out. I like the Blue Jackets plus 225 to win. This is money to be made. Their records are almost identical. The Blue Jackets are 11-10-3. Edmonton's 13-10-2. One is in the Metro, and one is. I think Edmonton wouldn't even be sniffing the playoffs in the East right now. They just don't have. Nobody in the West has stepped really up except for Winnipeg, and they have lost to Dallas and the Vegas Golden Knights. And I think Edmonton isn't better than Dallas and the Vegas Golden Knights right now. And Winnipeg, it's not even in question. So as long as Winnipeg had Ehlers on injured too, so we didn't really talk about that. So I think he's going to be back sooner than later. But anyway, I wouldn't even touch the Oilers here. The money's not worth it. If you got a guy that you think is going to score like Draisaitl competing for the top there, maybe he gets 18. That wouldn't be a bad deal. But I like the Blue Jackets.
I love the Blue Jackets here. Absolutely love them.
Edmonton can't get any secondary scoring either. They're not getting shit from anybody. And I think is Hyman out for them? Let me look at this.
This is the dog I wanted to pick. That's why I'm like, when you're saying take the Sharks, I'm like, I can't take two dogs in one night. Maybe I can.
Yeah. No, I would if I could bet it. Hold on here. I'll give you the LTIR. Okay, so Blue Jackets are missing Chenikov, Jenner, Gabranskin, and Dumais. Okay, so Chenikov, Jenner, and Gabranskin. Granson being out's probably fucking helping them. No offense. Edmonton's missing Hyman, Kane and Arvidsson. So we knew about Kane and Arvidsson. Arvidsson's been out in and out. Again, that's a knock on Arvidsson. Great player, can't stay healthy, can't stay in the lineup. That's why LA let him walk. They pick up Fogle, who never misses time, who Edmonton should have just fucking kept. Again, like, just why didn't you keep Fogle? Fogle is the guy. He scored huge goals for them in the playoffs. And Fogle was a fucking pain in the ass when he played for the Carolina and always did shit in the playoffs, like break TJ Oshie's collar by checking him from behind. But still, changed the series. They won in 7. So, you take a player like TJ Oshie off, and he didn't get suspended even. So, I'm like, not that I'm bitter, but I'm saying, like, Edmonton made some dumb shit moves, and then now they don't have secondary scoring. Yeah. Go ahead, Rico. Go ahead.
We're good, man. No, we're good. I don't mind the Blue Jackets too tomorrow. I mean, Edmonton played against Colorado and Vegas last couple of games. They had a couple.
Yeah, 1-0
testers.
loss to Vegas. Edmonton's been shut out 4 times this year already.
Yeah, man, that's a good little tester. So it'll be a little shock and awe, kind of. Not a bad spot for Columbus.
I get it. McDavid and Draisaitl are the best fucking players in the world. They're so good. But when you got to play them on the same line because you're not getting secondary scoring, that's a nightmare for Edmonton. They can't have those guys on the same line. They need them to be facing the weaker competition so one of them can feast. And they've been able to do it, but they got to get some secondary scoring, man. And I don't think Edmonton's goaltending or D has actually been all that bad for them. Bouchard's not been good. He's not been good. He's not getting the goals he was getting the rate. I think teams are blocking his shots a little bit better. Probably got a good scouting report on him because he fucking was killing it. Yeah, there's 13 minutes left in that Vegas game. It's 3-1. So, and I didn't see the other score there, the other update. But anyway, you guys saw we know who's missing. That Marchenko is a beast. Dude, that guy's going to be a household name. Like, mark my words.
There's 3 of them there. Chinnikov, Marchenko. No, I'm just saying down the road, Chinnikov, Marchenko, and Voronkov. Those 3 Russians, they'll surface in Columbus.
Yeah, I think that could be like the next Detroit Red Wings type team.
I know.
They've got a lot of talent there. They just traded Juracek and got a conditional first round. They got 3 nice, a second and a third, too, or a third and a fourth or so. They got
the Russians will love playing there, man. It's like college town. Go to Ohio State games.
Yeah, I think it's chill. I think a lot of the Russians, like Kirill Kaprizov's from a small town. He lives north of Mongolia. So some of these guys don't like playing in big cities. Ovi's from fucking Moscow, bro. He was like anything less than New York or DC would not have been good for Ovi.
Yeah.
Like if he was in a small fucking thing, Pittsburgh and Crosby and Ovechkin together would have been unbelievable. So it would have been awesome if Capitals got Crosby.
I think if Ovi went to like the Panthers, he would have been in trouble. It's not a hot.
That would have been worse. It would have been worse, dude. It would have been.
That brings the question to like where you slid in the draft and who picked who and how that lottery ball went. Like, it would have just changed so much in players' careers.
Well, I mean, the Capitals should have de facto gotten Crosby because there was no year, and they were the 1 overall the year before because they were the worst team in the NHL, and they got Ovechkin. The Penguins got Evgeny Malkin in that draft, so they wouldn't have been screwed or anything. They still would have probably been Stanley Cup contenders. So Crosby, I just argue, would have been a Washington Capital. Ovi would have 900 goals because of how good Crosby is getting a puck to his teammates. There's probably, he's going to go down as one of the all-time greats. There'll be people that will have his name in the same era as Wayne Gretzky, just like McDavid when his career's. I don't think McDavid has to win a cup. His numbers, if he keeps going.
Yeah. If I would have went down that Leaf game, I'd be getting home right around now. And then it'd be like snowstorm, shitstorm.
I'm getting that snowstorm tomorrow, like 3, 4 a.m.
But I mean, the third period was the best period of the game. Nashville came out like a fucking gangbuster. Then Marchand in that Chicago game, it was a Pasternak Marchand show, and Connor Geeky, Morgan Geeky or whatever the hell his name is, he popped a couple in. But
I wonder what his odds were for 2 goals tonight.
I don't know. He was plus 400 for a goal, dude. And he was like playing up the lineup. So I'm like, dude, you gotta hit this guy.
I'm not gonna lie. I got an odds boost on him. I got him at 480. I was like, all right, like here we go. Like fuck this.
Yeah, man. That's why you check daily face-off line combinations every day. Check them in the afternoon, right before I send Beard and you guys the picks on YouTube. Check daily face-off line combinations, and they'll tell you where they are at the morning skate. And all of a sudden,
that's
Geeky's playing up in the top line, and all of a sudden you see him at plus 400. They're like, dude, that's value.
I'll let you do the goal scoring props. I called it once, and McKinnon couldn't get me a goal.
Rico is
in
the
a
guy.
6-5 game. I couldn't get McKinnon to get me a goal.
Rico is the guy. If I ever take a point prop, a fantasy one, because that's all I can do here, like on bet time and underdog and stuff like that, I can do those, and so I do them from time to time, but not to any kind of extent. But if Rico gives a prop that I really like, and then I start my wheels turning on other things, I'll do a 3 or 4 leg parlays. That's how you can make some money. I'll just bet $10 and win like 120 or whatever. But if I don't win, I'll lose $10. Big deal. And I enjoyed the hockey, right? So I'm going to enjoy the hockey and watch it anyway. Still 2 games, by the way. 3-1 Vegas, 10:59 left to go in. 2-2 Dallas. That third period just underway. I'm so glad this is a good game because the Boston-Chicago games blue monkey chode. I don't know. Where was I going there? What were you talking about?
I mean, I'm 1 for 1 on hitting props this year.
The goal scoring props. You cannot go wrong with Rico's goal scoring props, guys. If you listen to anything I say, listen to those videos I put out on all my socials around 4 Eastern, no later than about 2 hours before the game, where Rico has given me great goal scoring props, and Pearlo busts his ass to come up with good lines for you guys, man. So, he's going to be doing his own show here. So I don't know what happened to him. He might probably move, and we need to get him settled in, get him a computer that doesn't have porn viruses on it. And,
Fort Wayne's a bad spot, man.
Dude, if you just stay off those kiddie porn sites, freaking creepo, man. Like, what the hell are you doing?
I don't know if you want to say that. That's
totally a joke. Not true. Pearlo got a virus on his computer. We're just giving him shit. He's not here.
I was just hoping it wasn't me giving him the virus because I told him how to watch hockey for free, kind of like in a different way.
I wanted to ask you, I'm thinking about asking a certain former NHLer who just got elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame on our show, and I think he would do it. What would you guys say to a JR interview?
That'd be sick.
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
There's no way he's coming on.
If
he's coming on, don't isolate me like he did with Kipper. Let us in.
Well, I won't. That's why I'm asking you. But I will tell you, most of these other interviews I'm going to do one-on-one because I want to do them myself. It's just better. It does suck that I don't get you guys' input because Rico, you asked some fucking badass questions. Mike, you're fucking awesome. Your hockey acumen is second to none, and I have nothing to say bad about Steve. We think a lot alike in a lot of things when it comes to that. That's why Steve and I became friends. So Pearlo Wisdom and we agree on more than we should. So that's probably why I get irritated with him because we're too much alike. And
Jeremy Roenick was the best hockey player on NHL 93, man. We could start from there.
I mean, I don't even want to ask him about the video game because he actually gets it a lot. I want to ask him about the night. He didn't get to play on it. I don't think he wasn't on the 96 USA roster.
Don't ask him about the broken jaw in Buffalo in the interview.
Dude, I mean, I want to ask him about that. And I want to ask him about some Michael Jordan golf stories that I've heard him tell before, but I want to get him on record again because I think they're so good.
Dude, weird. He had the best interview on Spit and Chicklets.
Yeah,
the one where he freaking had the whole death scene set up. You remember that?
yeah.
You remember when they showed up at the party and then like
that story was so wild. And
that was the best story I've
that
ever heard in my life, man. You play a rookie story on a guy and you're bringing a newbie to a party, and next thing you know, like it's like an exorcism, and you're like, it was all staged.
So this is how I knew I was a real hockey fan.
Yeah.
When I finally saw Swingers, because I didn't see it right when it came out, I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. They love Jeremy Roenick, and they're going to make Gretzky's head bleed on NHL 93 or whatever the fuck. And I was like, this is awesome. I love that they're playing this game that I play religiously. And I love Jeremy Roenick. Like, I didn't hate Gretzky. You can't hate Gretzky. I love Gretzky. So, but I was like, I was already a big time hockey fan. I was like, I got the Jeremy Roenick reference. Because I think a lot of people didn't get the reference. A lot of people went to the video game and played the video game, but a lot of people didn't get the reference. And I was like, I fucking love Jeremy Roenick and Keith Tkachuk, and I would fucking pay money to see those guys play anywhere. And they're both Americans, so I fucking
Steve Larmer, Jeremy Roenick, those Blackhawks in the early '90s with Chelios.
He's one of my
Gary Suter, Chelios.
That's the jersey I'll get made up as a Roenick jersey. Yeah, I love Jeremy Roenick. I'm a Roenick fan. Now I know
because he's American. Go on.
So Mike, you got to be a fan too, I'm sure.
I don't know him from video games. Right? Yeah, like I knew him at the Salt Lake City games. I was in Mites when that Olympics.
Yeah, 2002. They played good. We lost to Canada. It was a good one. Joe Sakic, wrist shot. Can't say much bad about that guy.
No, that's where I knew.
No controversy for me in that one. Great fucking game too, right? Like USA played their ass off. Still, I don't think
Trent Yanni, Dave Manson, Gary Suter, Chris Chelios, Steve Larmer, Dirk Graham, Michel Goulet, Jeremy Roenick, like those Blackhawk teams from the early '90s. I remember loving them.
Yeah, and they were a good fucking team, man.
Ed Belfour was in that.
Oh, Eddie the Eagle. Yeah. So I want to end the show because Mike looks like he's ready to go to bed, and I know it's late there. So
I'm heading to bed too.
I appreciate you guys. It was crazy. We had a long show. We'll be back tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern. Hopefully Steve's with us. If he's not, Mike, do I expect you tomorrow? Because I didn't expect you tonight.
We'll see what work.
All right, brother. Just don't make sacrifices. We love having you. Mike and I will be together Friday, 2 days from now, for the College Hockey Show at 2 p.m. Eastern.
We got a banger this weekend too.
Yeah, Mike's got a lot to talk to you about. A lot's happened since we've had a show. So, yep, Matthews made USA. I'm wearing my Matthews. He had a goal tonight, did he not? And the Leafs are looking real good. I'm happy for Leafs fans. We will see you tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern. Peace. We out.